Hey friends, welcome back to Spirit Made Me Do It. I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Today, I'm trying things a little differently. But first, I want to remind you that my summer solstice sale ends on the 21st. So if you are interested in taking advantage of the sale, go to aristotle.com. The link is in the description below. But just book before the 21st and you'll be good to go. You'll get the sales price. So anyway, speaking of readings, I thought it would be fun to actually do a card reading for you of what Spirit thinks. I know I do the weekly thing, but that's done differently. I wanted to show you the process. I wanted to show you all the different ways that Spirit communicates with me when I'm about to do a reading or when I'm doing a reading. So what I do is I kind of set up my space. I Reiki the walls. I Reiki the room. I bring in all the love into the room, and then I do my little exhale and I write down what Spirit tells me to write down. Then I listen to music, and Spirit tells me, they nudge me as to what part of the song to write down. They give me the feeling of the song, the feeling that they want me to pick up on in the song. But even before that, even before I sit down and start doing the music, it's almost like as soon as I set up the room, I start getting stuff. Communication from Spirit with me often comes in the form of physical things around me. For instance, I'll all of a sudden want everything exactly in its place, and everything has to be perfect. To me, that usually means that there was somebody in the military that was in the family, that precision, because it's very precise. But it can also indicate somebody with OCD, right? But you kind of know which is which. You usually can tell which one they mean. Sometimes this happens even with shirts. For example, the other day, I was guided to wear this one shirt, and I was like, no, I just wore that shirt. I don't want to wear it again. And I picked something else. Well, I was sitting getting ready, and didn't I spill water all over myself, and I had to change my shirt. And it was my Eeyore shirt, my Eeyore Pep Squad shirt, which a lot of you have seen. And Eeyore meant something specific to this person that I read. So you see how it makes things happen. Just recently, I had somebody, the message that I channeled was about a quilt, and it kept talking about the stitching and this and that. And it turned out that there was a very special quilt that was significant in this person's life. So mostly what I write down before a reading is it's more like validation. It's more like them saying, yeah, this information is coming from somewhere else, because how the heck would I know? And lots of times I write stuff down that I can't even imagine will play into the person's reading. But I'll be darned, man, it always does. It always does, and it's crazy. So anyway, so what I channeled with they're reminding me, this shirt here, I don't know, Margot. This was guided to me. This shirt I had made in honor of my good friend who passed. And yeah, so this is what I was guided to wear today. So I don't know what that means to somebody, but again, remember that all of this is for the collective. It's not just for one person. So things are going to mean different things to different people. If it resonates with you, great. If not, just leave it there, okay? But what they said was peace. Hold your space for peace. Love thy neighbor through good and bad. Their perception is their perception, yours is yours. Don't worry yourself about why. Just accept and love. Live in your peace, in your space, and let them live in theirs. So that's what they wanted to say. Again, this might mean something to one person and something totally different to another person, but it's ways that spirit communicates. Going into the music. Okay, so I always listen to music to a little for a little bit before I start a reading. And that music tells me all sorts of stuff. I get little phrases, I get feelings. There's just all sorts of things. I thought it was interesting that they chose a song like Mr. Bojangles by Harry Nilsson, the Harry Nilsson version. So if any of that means anything to anybody, that's a message to you. But to me, the song Mr. Bojangles, it has such a bittersweetness about it. Mr. Bojangles found joy in everything. He found love in everything, or at least that's how I perceive the song. But he lived his life fully every single day. He lived his life fully. Joy, they had me write finding joy in everyday life. And that is incredibly important. The next song that came up, I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. I miss Tom Petty so much. But Tom Petty, man, that guy was all about like defiance. When he wrote his music, you can feel, especially this song here for me, I can feel him declaring his worth in this song. I'm not backing down because I know. That's the kind of feel that I have with that. That song, also they wanted they had me also write down that it was the joy of the expression. He was his music. When you listen to that song, or when I listen to that song, I can feel the joy and the opportunity that he has to express himself. Um, and the other line that really kept coming up to me was, "There ain't no easy way out. You just got to do it. You just got to get to it." And that also comes with spirit. There's no easy way out of it. If you're trying to connect with spirit, one, you've got to trust and believe. But the other thing is, you've got to figure out the vocabulary. Like I said, when they have me put things all perfectly in order, that's usually somebody who was in the military, or there's some connection to the military, or it's an OCD thing. Wearing the shirt that I wore the other day, that spirit guided me to wear, and I didn't wear, and then I got wet and got the shirt wet, dropped my water, got the shirt wet, and I had to go and get another shirt. So I said, okay, I'm going to get the shirt you wanted me to wear in the first place, which was an Eeyore shirt. And Eeyore meant a lot to that person that I was reading. So those are some fantastic ways that spirit talks with you. The song they had me do after that was from the group The Score. And this particular song is Unstoppable, is the name of it. And it says, "We can be heroes everywhere we go." Oh, there goes my little phone doing its little notification bell. When that notification bell comes out in a reading, it means listen to this, that pay attention to this. This song to me is, again, it's about claiming your worth. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We know what we're capable of, and we can make big differences. That's what this song is telling me. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable, is another thing that they had me write down. And they also had me write down, there are more of us than them. So again, this goes back to declaring your worth and finding joy in everyday life, but it also goes back to being peaceful, right? We can be heroes. We don't have to be destructive. We don't have to live in our ego, feed our ego that only what we say is right. We just have to go out and love, just love on everybody. Just go out and treat everybody with respect and understand that they perceive things differently. Their perception is their perception. What we believe, that's our belief, doesn't belong to anybody else. Perfect example. My husband doesn't believe in Bigfoot, much to my dismay. I love Bigfoot. I love the idea of Bigfoot. I want Bigfoot to exist. Bigfoot exists in my world. That's my reality. As easy as that. Am I creating Bigfoot because I want him in my reality? Quite possibly. It's just how it is. It's just how it works. After Unstoppable, I thought it was kind of funny because the group Boston came up, and I know my accent comes out all the time, and I'm sorry for that. Forgive me. Um, and forgive me for this as well. The song that came up is Long Time. However, before they start playing Long Time, there's another warm up that they're kind of doing. There's another song that has a warm up. And I have the tendency to think that it was something that they never thought would ever fully evolve into a song. So they took that warm up, which is incredible, by the way, and then they put it with Long Time. So this shows up as foreplay slash long time. Okay. Now, the reason that I'm telling you that is because that's about manifestation, right? Foreplay. It's really what manifestation is. It's bringing around, it's the startup energy to get what you're trying to manifest to you, to get what you're manifesting to you. Um, just the part long time, the name of the song itself, to me, that's a dream that you've had for a long time. That's you following your passion. And they had me write down following your passion, manifestation, coming back to find me, right? Because when you manifest something, you put it out and it comes back to you. That thought that you had circles round, comes back. And then, then they had me write down as a reminder to say, I have to say what they give me. So just know that that's part of it too. Whatever information is given to me, I'm going to say it, whether it makes sense or not. Okay. So now let's go into this. Anybody who's read me knows that I like to sit on my legs because I'm always having to uncross them. And that allows for the flow of the energy, but I really kind of get nudged to do that. Now, I'm filming this, and if you will see, I have an extra candle on here today. This is for somebody special who could use our prayers for things to work out and for her to have peace. So that's where we're going with the candles. This part is a little bit more difficult sometimes because they have me pick out the cards. And usually I start with this deck, which is the regular Rider-Waite tarot, and they want me to start with this deck. Now, while I'm reading somebody, I'm going to get one of two clues out of the deck. If things start jumping out, then I know that they want me to put a certain setup. If things jump out, they want me to put 4 across and 4 underneath it, sometimes 4 underneath that. Otherwise, if I have to cut the deck, that's telling me that they're ready to go into a Celtic cross to give out the information. Again, this is all part of building up your vocabulary with spirit. Ooh, this is part of it too. And this is where the fun comes in. When you cut the deck, it always cuts to specific cards that it wants you to talk about. These 2 cards, first of all, this is a Hermit card, number 9. This is number 9 here as well. The 9 of Cups. 9s are about the end of an old cycle. This card is called wish fulfillment. It's about all the things that you're wishing for coming true. Now, the Hermit is about a spiritual journey. The yellow is all about spiritual as well. These 2 cards together is telling me this is what you're searching for. You're searching for a way to your happiness. You're searching for a way to the manifestations that you want, your wish fulfillments. The lantern that the Hermit is holding, that lantern, that light in the lantern is actually you. You lead your own way. You lead your own way on your spiritual journey. And part of that is manifestation, right? Because this is the Hermit. He comes from the Magician. Well, the Magician stems from the Fool, who's just starting his spiritual journey. Then the Magician is about recognizing your powers, as above, so below. It's about manifestation. It's about those abilities to manifest. The light, the Hermit, is the next step up. It's the older version of the Magician. The Magician, which is you, because you're lighting the way, showing the way, that Magician is the manifester. Your manifestations are from you and are to you, within you. You manifest. That energy is within you. That energy goes out and you bring it forward. Now, that hermit believes that that light's going to shine anywhere, right? That hermit believes that he's always going to be able to see because of that light. So it's about trust as well. Okay, see how they're not letting me go in here? They're not letting me put these cards in. So that means they want me to cut the deck. So I'm going to cut the deck, and that means they want me to start my Celtic cross. Now, each position in this Celtic cross has a meaning, and I always talk about that. I always talk about the fact that when you get a lot of major arcana, which means arcana means mysteries. The major arcana for me, and everybody looks at cards and stuff differently. The major arcana for me, when they come out, it's about this was meant to happen. This is what you signed up for. Things are about to really change. This is a turning point. It has those type of messages to it. The minor arcana, the minor mysteries, are more to me like day-to-day life. This position here is what Spirit wants to talk about. Okay, what they want to talk about, this card here, being a 4, the 4 of Pentacles, for me, the 4 of Pentacles screams, you need to know who the boss is. You need to know who's the boss. And that's you. Spirit is telling you that you are the boss. You are in charge of anything that happens. Now, if I get a major arcana in 1 or 2 positions, that's a really, really big deal. This card that goes across here that I just picked up, this is about challenges. It's what's challenging you or what's helping you. The Wheel of Fortune came out. You are in charge, you're the boss of what you put forth. This also indicates to me that things are going to turn around. Now, this card here usually kind of says, okay, generally we want to talk about who's the boss. Now we're going to get a little more into that. This is the root of the reading. The Magician upside down. Okay, first of all, 2 major arcana, right? And we talked about that light being you being the boss, that light inside. The Magician card. The Magician reversed is about not using your abilities right, which is funny because this came out, I think, in the short that's coming out tomorrow. It's about creating in the now. It's about being in the now. Well, that could be the one that's coming out today. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's coming out or it has already come out. But it's about manifesting in the now, making sure that your thoughts stay good and happy because you're creating right now. You're creating the future opportunities right now. Okay. This is about not using them right. And this is what they're talking about, their abilities. You're not using this ability to be able to manifest. You're not using it properly because you're not doing it in the now. When you're in the present now and you're worried about things that are coming up, things that are going to happen, whatnot, you're creating more of that because that's what you're putting out because you are creating in this moment. So in this moment, you have to be either in a place of good things, joy, happiness, your natural state, peace, joy, and happiness. Otherwise, if you're letting your mind go off, you're creating things. You're putting that out there as a creation. And that creates chaos. You want to manifest intentionally. And that's how you do it. You live in the now and you show thanks for what's coming your way. Because if you're showing thanks, it's because you know it's already coming. This position here is about the past. And sometimes this is kind of hard to interpret. Okay. Literally, this card upside down is kind of chaos, right? Everything's falling out of the cups, and it's got some weird stuff in those cups to begin with. But this is kind of about creating chaos. It's about being confused. It's about illusions. In the past position, it's telling me you already realize that you have already created this chaos. You've been doing it. You've been creating all along. You've just been creating the wrong things because of where your mind is. This card up here is the possibilities. All right. This card here is like, it's about somebody who needs a little light under their behind to get them going, right? This is somebody who needs to be motivated all the time. But what this card is also saying is this land behind him is already plowed. It's all ready to go. It's fertile land. It's good land. All he has to do is plant the seeds. When you do this, it's telling you to start now. Let me motivate you now. You need to get into a quiet place. You need to get to a place where it's peaceful, it's not moving. And you need to deliberately create. You need to create in the now. You need to create in that moment, in a place of peace and joy and love. That's what you create. That's what you want to put forward. This card here is something that's going to happen in the future, anytime between now and the end of the year. But it's usually, I don't know, 2 to 6 months, 3 to 9 months, something like that, usually. Although I have had it happen the very next day. And this is a card about when it's right side up, it's harmony flows between two souls. Together we will reach our goals. That lion represents Raphael to me, which is the angel of healing. So this is also a card about healing. Whether it's right side up or upside down, it's about healing. But when this card is upside down, it's about disturbances. It's about a disagreement, really. But it's also about, if you work together at this, we can work it out. And that's what they're telling us right now. We can work things out. We can work the things, the problems, the things that we don't like. We can work out all of those things if we just keep doing everything with love and acceptance. We can work it out. We can live together. We can do this. They're actually telling me that they want me to switch decks. The reason I know which deck to go to is because they showed me in my head my Labradorable deck. Now, the Labradorable deck, because even these decks only come out at certain times, I have a mushroom deck that I have, and that's for people that kind of like to be in the dark about things. It's kind of that. It's also a different feel to it. It's a more serious deck. My Labradorable deck it does the opposite of that, right? It's Labradorable, for crying out loud. It's something that's happy. It's something telling you not to worry about things. This is going to be fine. It also comes out if I'm working with somebody who's studying to be a vet or is a vet or has some special connection to animals, which is really cool because I don't know why they're bringing things out. Sometimes they bring out different decks when I'm clarifying because what they want me to do is sometimes they'll show me the same cards to kind of reinforce it. So show me, please, what the Two of Cups reversed is meaning. Please clarify that. I talked to my guides through the whole thing. I'm always asking, are you sure that's what you want? Is this right? Am I doing it all the time? Okay, so they want me to cut the deck. When they want me to cut the deck, they're telling me they only want 2 cards. I just heard 2, which means they want from the top and they want from the bottom. So to clarify this thing about working out disputes, they want to be sure that they're talking about the Knight of Swords reversed. The Knight of Swords reversed, the energy is hard, that there is some hard energy there. So again, this is just telling me hard energies and disruptions, disputes, right? And that's what's going on. That's what's going on with the country right now. Let's look at the second card that they have, and that is the King of Wands, and that is also upside down. The King of Wands is somebody who's generous. It's somebody who's impulsive, though, too. They can be impulsive. Reversed is somebody who shares disputes. Your disputes you share. You have the same grievances. We both want the same things, right? We both want the same things. Both sides want the same thing. It's just some people are they're being misled by people they can identify with, is what I'm being told. Okay, they did want me to get another card, and this card literally just flipped over in the deck. So this is the card they want. Also in reverse, the Three of Wands in reverse is about seeing things coming, but they're in the distance. Things are coming, but they're in the distance. They're not coming through yet. When this card is in reverse, it's also about like double checking things. Checking facts, right? To making sure that you're getting the right information. We should all be doing that. Anything that comes up, we should all be doing it, especially if it sounds crazy. We should all be checking the facts. This card here is a position about how we see ourselves. Yeah, we absolutely feel like it's a tower moment. We feel like things are really being shaken up and we're kind of concerned about what's going on. In the reverse, it's not as bad as you think. In my opinion, that's what it feels like. And this card here, now, if I'm reading this card for one person, I always tell them if it's next to a major arcana, which this is, and so is this, which is pointing right at it. If it's next to a major arcana, it's what they think, their 2 cents that they want to put in about this particular space, about how they see you. Okay. And we have the Ace of Cups upside down, right? We've our lives have been turned up and upside down. Our emotions, right? Water represents emotions, are just through the roof. But they also said they want us to keep a damper on that. See how the hand is bringing it down? They want to keep a damper on it. This is literally upside down, literally talks about the ego. They want us out of this headspace and they want us into the spiritual side. They want us to look at the big picture and trust and know that things are going to work out. There's a lot of love upside down or right side up. There's a lot of love in this card. And that's what we're in, right? Our new energy of love is coming in, but people are fearful and they're holding on and they're acting out. This position here is our hopes and fears. New beginnings. Absolutely. We all want new beginnings, but we're afraid of what that's going to look like. What is this new beginning going to look like? Is it going to be a fearful new beginning? Is it going to be a big, huge change? Well, we've got a card right here that means huge change, but it's upside down. It's not anything we can't deal with. We're never given anything that we can't deal with. At the top of the deck, we have the Hierophant, which represents government. It represents conformity. We're going to get some, we're going to use the Labradorable deck to verify again. No? Okay, they don't want me to use this deck. They want me to use this deck. Okay, all right. So I'm picking 3 cards to clarify this outcome card. Now, this outcome card is talking about change. It's a 5. It's talking about change. Okay, they just threw some cards at me. Those are the cards we're going with. I usually pick out 3. There are 4 here, so we're going to go with that. First, we have the 7 of Wands, right? The 7 of Wands. Look how peaceful she is. Look at the meditation that she's in. There are things that are trying to come up at her, and she's just remaining in her place of Zen. There are things going on that we are so afraid of, and there's no reason to be afraid. We're fighting battles that we can't win. Going into fear is never, ever a good thing. We have the tower right side up, but look, I want you to notice how much more peaceful this tower is. It doesn't have people falling off of the sides. It has butterflies that aren't afraid of the change. They're not afraid of the transformation that the tower brings, right? They do not want you to be afraid. There's no reason to be afraid of anything. Just trust. Oh, we have 5 cards here. 5 is about change, right? The other card is the Strength card. That's about not having confidence. You're not having confidence in your government. And yes, I get that. I totally get that. But know that you have more strength than you realize, and that you can do what you need to do to bring change about. You're still in charge of it, whether or not you believe you are. That's on you. The next card is the Knight of Swords reversed. The Knight of Swords is rushing into things. It's like trying to force change to me when it's in reverse. It's trying to force change. The Knight of Swords reversed next to the Strength card is telling me, don't force this. Do not force this. This is not good to force anything. This is something we really need to just relax into and let it happen. Sometimes we don't have all of the information. Swords are about information as well. Sometimes we don't have all the information, which I'm sure we don't. Of course, we're only hearing what we're being told. From both sides, we're hearing what's their own interpretation of what's happening. Some of it is deliberately misleading, which is why we need to check everything, right? The Ace of Swords. It's funny because this was at the bottom of the deck when I first pulled out this deck. The Ace of Swords. I mean, look at it's the Fibonacci code here, right? It's a Fibonacci spiral sequence. That's what that represents. And that is something that's throughout life. Look at the knowledge that's coming from this, right? Again, this is knowledge coming in. We've got a crow. Crows bring things from one side to the other, right? They bring information from one side to the other. This is about the manifestation. This is about using, what was my finger? There it is. It's about using the manifestations, bringing that manifestation forth together because the majority of us want good things. We want peace. We want to help each other. We want good health care. We want good pay. We want to be able to live a life that is not just surviving, but actually living. And that's what we want to manifest. We want to manifest that joy and that life and that we're all in this together. So what they're saying is be careful. Be careful because you're manifesting chaos when your mind is not in the right place. You're manifesting chaos. So just be careful of that. Pay attention to things. Now I always end with a card from Archangel Michael. Okay, then we're going to cut the deck. Honor and trust your feelings. Absolutely. Trust that you are manifesting good things. Trust that you're manifesting that you want. Listen to your intuition and believe your intuition. They want me to take another one. Let go of the fear now. Absolutely. Because so many people are expressing that they are in a state of fear. And I get it. Believe me. Then I always end up with the final message from Spirit out of my Spirit Inspired Oracle, which is my own deck that they inspired me to write on. This deck, they usually throw things out at me. Not today. Not today, though. Okay, not today. They want me to take two cards. All right, one from the top and one from the bottom. Top and bottom. New thoughts lead to new choice, which leads to new experience. Again, they're reminding us of who's the boss, right? That's what they're reminding us. You're the boss. You're in charge of this through your manifestations, through your thoughts. And the last card we have is actually from the Hermit. On my Gilded Tarot Royale, it has little sayings from the Hermit. And this one is, learn who you are and what you believe. Then you can trust yourself without depending on the opinions of others. Again, I've been telling you, Spirit wants to communicate with you, Source, God, however you look at it. The communication is what they want. It's part of the natural cycle of things. It is part of that. It is our birthright to be able to communicate with Spirit, which they're reminding me is why they had me do this video this way. Spirit has been saying this all along, that they want us to communicate. And that's why they had me show you the process that I have, is because they want you to work on your own vocabulary with Spirit. Just ask, they'll start to show you. It's not difficult. And you have to believe and trust and know that the information that you are receiving is for a reason. And if you're reading for somebody else, write it down because it might not make sense to you, but it makes sense to somebody. It makes sense to the person that you're reading. They had me write down, Toad the Wet Sprocket. how could that mean anything to anyone? But it meant somebody to the person. It meant something to the person that I was reading. So just know you get some crazy things, but it's all good. Trust, believe, know that everything's going to be fine, that all we need to do is just love on each other and respect each other and not feed into the fear or the anger. Feed into the love. We can be heroes everywhere we go. They just put that back in my head. We're unstoppable. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Bye-bye.